Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? I hope you're all staying safe, staying good. I hope you're all enjoying this beautiful weather we're having in Toronto. I wanted to make this playoff prediction video a little bit sooner actually, but I thought why not wait and so we can see some of these preseason games, if you want to call it that, between some of these teams and see how the goalies looked, see how sharp they looked, how sharp the players look, what the rust looked like. And these games some of them were pretty entertaining, especially the Edmonton-Calgary game. There's a lot of intensity there, lots of hitting. So hockey is back, and that's great. I am so excited for hockey. I can't wait. This weekend is going to be a really fun Saturday for the first time in a long time. You got the Jays playing back-to-back games. The Raptors are playing. UFC is on. And we got 5 playoff games. So that is going to be great. So let's get started with the Western Conference. Let's start off with Winnipeg and Calgary. I think this is going to be an entertaining series. I think the best goalie in that series is definitely going to be Connor Hellebuyck, and I think that's going to be the deciding factor here. I don't think Calgary can produce enough offense in a short series to really take the momentum here. Winnipeg looked really good yesterday. Well, the goalie looked really good. Hellebuyck in that first period, Winnipeg had a lot of turnovers. They weren't really managing the puck well, and Hellebuyck looked sharp. So I think that's definitely the deciding factor in this series. So I'm definitely going to give the edge to Winnipeg. I think it's going to be a 5-game series. I think Calgary is definitely going to put up a good fight. But I don't know, between Mike Smith and Hellebuyck, I think I definitely have to go with the goaltending here. So Winnipeg in 5, definitely. Edmonton, Chicago, that's, based on what I see here in the bracket challenge or the playoff picks on Sportsnet here, Edmonton and Chicago, it's 91% Edmonton and 9% Chicago. I think Chicago looked really good yesterday against St. Louis. Even though Jake Allen was in net and not Binnington, I think Chicago looked really well, really good. And Edmonton, they got a young goalie in net. They definitely can score a lot. It's going to be a really tight series. It's definitely going to be 4 or 5 games. It's going to be hard to choose. But I think just giving the edge to Chicago here, they got the playoff experience. They really looked dialed in yesterday. They played really well, and I'm going to have to go with Chicago in 5 on this one, guys. Definitely let me know your thoughts on that one. I think it's going to be very close. I think Chicago winning here is the upset, actually. I think Edmonton is definitely the favorite here, but something tells me Chicago's going to come out flying out of the gate. So Chicago in 5. Arizona and Nashville. I don't know about Nashville. This year they haven't been able to score many goals. Or power play is not very great. Here it says almost 80% chose Nashville, 20% Arizona. I'm going to have to go with Arizona on this one. I think Taylor Hall's going to be inspired, free agent, at the end of the season. And I think he's going to be inspired to put on a good show. They definitely have talent. They have a good goalie. I'm going to have to go with Arizona in 4 on this one. Vancouver Mini. Minnesota's in a tough situation right now. They've been looking to sell off and do a little bit of a rebuild themselves. They have a lot of talent too. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go with Vancouver on this one. They got a really good young goalie in net. Lots of young talent there. They're going to be enthusiastic. They're going to fly out of the gate. They're going to look really good. So I think Vancouver in 5. So that's the Western Conference. Winnipeg, Chicago, Arizona, and Vancouver. I think Vancouver's going to actually score a lot of goals in these playoffs. I think yesterday they didn't look too good, but I think they have enough talent there. I think Elias Pettersson had some chances. He could definitely, I think with the rust, he missed some of those chances, but he could have clearly had, Vancouver clearly could have had a couple of goals right there in that first period. Eastern Conference, very, very up and down. We're going to start with New York Islanders and Florida. Here, 72% say New York Islanders and 27% in Philadelphia, Florida. Florida didn't look very good against Tampa. But, you know, in that series, New York is definitely the favorites. I'm gonna choose New York in 4 actually, but I can see Florida winning this one too. They have these moments if Bobrovsky dials it in, he's definitely the kind of goalie that can steal a couple of games. So, but I'm gonna go with the Islanders on this one. Carolina, New York Rangers. That's that's as close as you can come to a 50-50 pick'em. New York had a really good season. Panarin had a really good season. Zibanejad had a really great season. But I think with the New York Rangers right now, they're not sure who's going to start. And there's no real indication as to who's going to start there. They're probably going to start the younger goaltender, which is good. He's very talented. Carolina is probably going to start Mrazek. And they're a very tough team to play against. I'm going to go with Carolina and 5 on that one. Yeah. Pittsburgh, Montreal. It's really hard to pick, you know, Montreal in this one. Pittsburgh has the edge everywhere. Carey Price really hasn't been the superstar goalie of the past for a while. He definitely can get hot and steal some games, but, you know, you're going to have to play defense and you're really going to have to lock it down. And I don't see Montreal having the pieces to play that kind of a defensive game. They give up a lot of chances, and I don't see Price stealing this series. Definitely, I think if there's going to be a sweep in this preliminary round, it's Pittsburgh in 3. I think right now they have the edge on defense. They have the edge on forwards. Montreal really doesn't have much up front. And it really comes down to goaltending. If Matt Murray's been, you know, on and off shaky, he's had really good stretches too, but, you know, if Price gets hot and Murray is not, and they have to go with Tristan Jarry or someone like that, then I think that evens up the series a little bit more. But, you know, how could you not pick Pittsburgh in that one? Toronto, Columbus. That is... It's a difficult decision based on everything I've heard online. You know, Columbus, you know, everybody talks about what Columbus did to Tampa Bay last year. And I don't really compare Toronto to Tampa Bay all that much. Tampa Bay has a great goaltender, but he looked more than mediocre last year in the first round when they got swept. I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think those 4 games that, or the 3 games Tampa's going to play in this preliminary round to determine seeding is really going to give them a chance to dip their toe in the water and get into that kind of mindset before they actually have to play a 7-game series. So, but between Toronto and Columbus, I'm gonna have to go with Toronto on this one. Toronto in 5. Columbus is a really good defensive team, but they can't score. And the problem with playing a defensive team, game is, you know, if Toronto comes out of the gate in the first 5-7 minutes, if they score a goal, then, you know, it puts Columbus on their heels. Then they have to open it up a little bit to play some offense, and that's, you know, that's what Toronto's looking for. So I think Toronto's offense is better, and I think Freddie Anderson is going to outplay the young goaltenders in Columbus. I think Columbus has 2 really young, talented goalies in net who have 0 playoff experience. But I think with a guy like Elvis Merzlikins, I don't know if they'll start him, but he's, you know, he's one of those young, energetic, cocky goalies, and, you know, he plays the game really oblivious to the pressures and everything. So, you know, he goes out there and he plays his game. He doesn't care if he's up against Toronto or, you know, anybody. He's not very intimidated easily. He's not intimidated easily. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's a very good goaltender. I don't know if they'll go with Jonas Korpisalo. Definitely who they put in net's going to make a big difference. I think Anderson's going to come out being the better goalie here in this series. The Leafs are healthier than they have been all season. Morgan Riley's back and healthy. Mikheyev is back and healthy, and I think he's definitely going to be an X factor here in this series. He makes that Tavares-Marner line so much better. The Leafs all year have been switching out Kapanen, Kerfoot, Janssen, you know, before his injury, in that spot where Mikheyev plays. And with Mikheyev there, the Leafs have 2 solid lines with Hyman Matthews and Nylander, and Mikheyev, Tavares, and Marner. I think they have 2 very solid lines. And without the X factor of Kadri, you know, being the 3rd-line center in the couple previous years, and with his suspension history, I think, you know, when you have a guy like Kerfoot in there with Kapanen, it gives them a very solid 3rd line too. A little bit checking. Kapanen's a good PKer, so it's hard not to choose Toronto on this one. Definitely, if Columbus wins, I consider that an upset. Toronto is definitely the favorites here, and I'm going to go with Toronto in 5. It's definitely going to be interesting. I think the preliminary round is going to be high scoring. I think it's really hard to lock down a defensive system this fast with how short the camp was and only one scrimmage, one preseason game, if you want to call it that. I think that defensive teams are going to have a hard time. I think it's going to be high scoring. There's going to be a lot of lead changes. It's going to be exciting hockey. I'm definitely excited to see it get underway on Saturday. 5 games on Saturday. I will be glued to the TV for all 5 games, that's for sure. So yeah, if you agree with me, if you don't agree with me, please let me know. Comment down at the bottom. Give me a like, and let me know what you think, what your thoughts are. I'm very interested to find out. And we'll do this round by round. So stay tuned. Have a good day, guys.